Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, Weather for Weather Geeks. Hope you and yours had a pretty good weekend. The weather certainly was fantastic at the end of the weekend on Sunday with bright sunshine. After that frosty cold start, we got into the 60s Sunday, and we did even better today. It was another beautiful day today. We're going to have another winter coming up on Tuesday. Got a lot to talk about, though, coming up in the next week to 10 days. If you're not a fan of November-like chill, you're not going to be a fan of the forecast for next week, that is for sure. But so far, we're about a third of the way through October, and certainly the cooler than average days have outnumbered the warmer than average days. But today we put an orange box on the board, 68 this afternoon. That's 3 above the average. When you factor in highs and lows, we are running 3.8 degrees. Cooler than the average. It's been pretty dry so far in October as well. Now, October tends to be one of our drier months. At least it's one of the months in which a long stretch of dry weather is not that uncommon. Unless we have the remnants of a tropical system, second half of September into the first half of October tends to be a pretty dry time of the year. And at the airport, we're still running over an inch below the average through the first 1/3 of October. All right, good looking sunrise this morning. Of course, we're into autumn now, so the sun rises south of due east. We're looking east here towards the Poland area, away from Boardman. We're across from Southern Park Mall here on our camera that's on top of the billboard. You've probably driven past it a million times if you frequent this area. It's on a billboard next to the Walgreens there along 224. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, and we are sharing in the quiet weather in most of the country. It's another very quiet weather map across the lower 48 states this evening. All right, our Tuesday will start out on a seasonable note. 44 is par for the course on the 11th day of October. That's about where we'll be as the day gets underway. We're heading for the low 60s at lunchtime, and it'll be a fine Tuesday afternoon as we get into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Now, that being said, this afternoon was pretty much cloud-free. Won't be the same story on Tuesday. I think there'll be a veil of high clouds that pushes in as the afternoon wears on. No big deal. Still a very nice day. Might get grazed by a shower early in the day Wednesday with a warm front lifting through. Don't think it's much at all. Most of us will miss that, but most of us will not miss the next round of rain. Most of the daylight hours dry Wednesday. Our model here tries to spin up a couple of showers. I think the vast majority of the day will be fine. It's after sunset and into the overnight that a pretty good slug of rain will come through, and showers may linger into parts of Thursday morning. This will be one of the healthier drinks of water we've had in a little while. Here's a look at our computer model spread. Again, most of this coming Wednesday night. Pretty good average of a half an inch advertised on the modeling here. And I think that's reasonable. Some places will probably get a little more, some a little less. Severe weather locally, not likely at all. But the Storm Prediction Center, with their Day 3 outlook, so in other words, for Wednesday into Wednesday night, does have a low-end 1 on that 1 to 5 scale risk for the I-71 corridor, heading even down towards Zanesville, Cambridge, into the Columbus area, back to Cincinnati, and into the mid-Mississippi Valley as well. We could have a rumble of thunder around here, but I don't think severe thunderstorms is very likely at all. All right, we are in the bullseye in the 6 to 10 day outlook. The entire state of Ohio encompassed by that kind of purple color. It is a mortal lock that it is going to be cooler than average in this time frame, this period from the 16th through the 20th. I think the cold will be centered right around the middle of next week, so like Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. We might have a hard time getting out of the 40s when you consider that our average high drops from about 64, 65 down to about 60 between now and 10 days from now. A high temperature that's 11, 12, 13, even 14 below average does put us in the 40s. So this will be the coolest air mass of the season so far. That cold front probably arrives at some point Monday into Monday night, so a week from right now. And yeah, it looks real chilly middle of next week. All right, since it's a quiet evening, let's do just a little bit of talking about the winter forecast. I mentioned last week a couple of times that our annual winter forecast will be online and on TV a little later than in years past. This year we're going to do it on Thursday, November the 17th. The short version on TV, and that'll be posted online, but kind of the Weather Geeks version, like the video you're watching right now, will be online that evening as well, and a lot of times those videos are even quite a bit longer than the typical Weather Geeks video, which, as you know, can sometimes run 7, 8, 9 minutes. We'll get into a lot of details, but one of the things I'll be looking at, of course, La Nina is a factor again this winter. And this is a map showing the composite of all the moderate La Ninas, what happened that winter. All the moderate La Ninas in the last 40 or 50 years. This year's La Nina expected to be on the moderate side, probably not super strong, but not real weak either, somewhere in the middle, kind of in that moderate category. And when you look back at all the years in which we just had a moderate La Nina and we don't factor anything else in, this is the map that you get when you put all those years in the hopper. Cooler than average weather favored across the northern tier of states, warmer than average, strongly favored in the southwest, and even in parts of the southeast up into New England. And this map kind of looks like the current winter outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. It's kind of a standard issue, moderate La Nina look. Oftentimes the CPC's seasonal outlooks kind of just take on a boilerplate or standard issue flavor, whether it be El Nino or La Nina. It's one of the kind of gripes I have sometimes with their outlooks. We're going to look at a lot more stuff other than La Nina and the strength of La Nina being moderate this year. This is just showing moderate La Ninas. We're going to factor in a lot of other things, from sunspot cycles to water temperatures in the northern Pacific to water temperatures in the Indian Ocean. We're going to be talking about a volcano eruption earlier this year that might have an impact on the global climate as we head into northern hemisphere winter. We're going to look at a lot of stuff, but we're going to, in drips and drabs, going to share with you some behind the scenes, kind of pull back the curtain a little bit on some of the things we're looking at for the upcoming winter season. But we're very early in the game. I have not come up with a list of analogs just yet. We're still over a month away from me actually doing the winter forecast, so between now and November 17th, I'm going to start building the blocks of our outlook, and one of the first things we'll do is put together a list of what we call analogs, years that appear to have the most similarities in the atmosphere and the oceans to this upcoming winter. But we're not there yet. Early in the game, hang in there. We'll talk more about the winter in the coming weeks, and we'll talk more about this upcoming cold snap in future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks. In the meantime, thanks for watching tonight. I'll see you back here on Tuesday.